Is there any truth in the fable that went something to the effect that you and Glenn Falk and a couple of other people try to get this guy to come to Clymer?
Oh, we spent time, effort, and money to drive to Buffalo and bribe him. And fortunately, bribery worked, and we didn't have to resort to anything more vicious.
Well, what exactly did you bribe him with?
Money. We offered, well, actually, we bribed him with ego, see. We told him that we'd let him talk to us if he'd come if he'd come to Clymer.
I came out here somewhat inflated, and I think I came out here thinking I was going to teach some people some stuff, and I wound up. I mean, I could do that, but we wound up mostly learning. I've learned a lot since I'm here. I can even identify 3 different kinds of grass.
Well, what actually happened that first day? You gave a presentation to the local...
Yeah, well, it wasn't a very well-organized thing. It was supposed to be a seminar on starting small craft businesses. With the
You were
houses.
ready to make a move around that time. You were thinking about going down to Cooperstown, and somehow they enticed you to come down here and make a presentation.
Yes, and I think it was, it was the. I mean, this is the middle of nowhere in a lot of ways. Clymer, who's ever heard of it? And it's out of the way. The property by itself wouldn't have done it. It's a fine collection of people around here who I think we were turned on a lot.
So you just decided to move that day, basically?
You got it, yeah. We have 59 acres of land here, which is, when you come from the city and you have I think we had 1/5 of an acre. It was a bowling alley, 30 feet wide. It's hard to imagine what 59 acres is. So we're still in the process of trying to get comfortable with that much space. Although by standards around here, it's a little space because some people have thousands of acres. But anyway, it's plenty big enough for what we want to do, and we're just, starting to feel comfortable with it. The overall plan, the ideal thing, would be to to create something which I would call an intentional neighborhood. We would like to have a community of people who are doing creative things. That's the important, that truck pulling out and those people that are in it, that's the important part to understand. You see, we live in a society where you want somebody to do that kind of service for you, and you gotta work for cash to pay for that service. And we're just trying to work out a community of people here who are going to just help each other. I mean, those guys are just helping me, and I help them, and there's this real organic. We're trying to build here some real organic kind of reciprocity, where if I do something for you, it doesn't behoove you to do something for me. Security for most Americans tends to be money in the bank, health insurance, and a quote-unquote good job. Okay. Now, I went along with that definition of security for a long time, and it didn't work for me. And the definition that comes closest to working for me is that security is a community of people around you who you can trust. We have a community of people around us who we feel we can trust. We know that we're not going to starve. If I lose this place tomorrow, I can think of 10 people who'll take us in, who'll help us out, who we can help also in the process, and we can get back on our feet again. And we're not tied into this place in an ego way, so it's not as if we're going to crack up emotionally to lose it, although we like it very much. Okay. What I've tried to do is anything that I could possibly do for myself, that I don't have to count on a group of repair personnel or something like that. I've tried to learn to do. I do all my own plumbing work, woodwork, electrical work, all kinds of maintenance work that needs to be done. I can cut my own wood, and we can heat our house with it. And by a conservative estimate, over the course of a hard winter, that'll save us $600. Now, if you figure that you make $150 a week, you could take, if you go out and you have a job and you make $150 a week, you work for a month to pay for your fuel that you need to burn. But if I go out and I spend a week and I cut all the fuel that I need to heat the house, I cut all the fuel I need to heat the house, I've made $600, and it hasn't taken me a month, it's taken me a week, and I still got 3 weeks. And it makes perfect sense to me that if I can do that and I want to do that, then that's the way I should organize my life, and that's what I've tried to do. If I can go ahead and take this, if I can buy this building for half the price that I could buy it if it was painted, and I paint it myself, and I don't have to make the money to pay for the other half of that building. If we can, we got a garden up there, if we can, whatever food we can grow, we don't have to buy. Whatever food we don't have to buy, we don't have to pay money for. Whatever money we don't have to spend, we don't have to make. It's just a whole cycle, so that we're down to where we're rich if we make $4,000 a year, because we don't need it.
Well, is this kind of living out in the country, in this kind of situation, something that you've been looking forward to for a while?
Yeah, I think that Michael and I had a whole lot in common before we got together, and I think that part of the reason that we got together was because of the things that we had that we held, were important for us to do, and so I think that working to end the war and moving to the country and our ideas on how one should live one's life, while they come from two different places, they end up, motivationally, they're different. They end up being very much the same. And so I think that that's what brought us here. That's what, I guess that's what brought us together in the beginning. Another reason I think that we're together was that part of this relationship included the freedom to be oneself and to grow in directions that were good for the individual.
Are you primarily looking forward to raising a family, or is that something that's the main consideration for you in terms of living out here in the country? Or
No.
You're looking forward in a similar manner as Michael to some kind of part in developing some kind of meaningful community, or is that a similar idea?
Excuse me. I think meaningful community is probably central. We have 2 children and a dog and a cat, and at times that means we have 4 children. But that's, I can't say that it's not central, but that isn't like that isn't a real goal or something. I mean, they're part of the process.
Rose is a person who, she can expand on that, but just to introduce it, Rose is a person who finds a lot of her meaning, or gets a lot of her meaning from a body of doctrine and stories called the Bible. And I think we have some of the...
Are you trying to say she's religious?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a born-again Christian.
And I never even was a Christian at any point in my life. So we're hard put to explain how it is we got together anyway, but nevertheless, it seems like what holds us together is is a belief that we hold in common, which is that it's worth struggling to find. It's worth struggling to make a relationship the best thing it can possibly be.
When we finally decided that we should get married, then that was because I needed to get married. I needed to have some prayers or something said over top of the relationship. I wanted something done. I didn't care whether we had a marriage license from the state or not, but I wanted some kind of religious ceremony because that was important to me. So we sat down and we talked with this minister for, I don't know how many hours we spent in the kitchen with coffee, talking and sitting. Anyway, and what we did was, on the end, it was the second year that we had finished living together, so like our second anniversary, we had this celebration, and basically what we said was that we had lived together for 2 years and we'd like to, we liked that, and it was good, and we'd like to grow old together, and I still feel that way.
And building toys now for about 6 years. From past experience, I know approximately how much of each toy I'm going to need. There are 18, I make, 17. I used to make 18. One of them wasn't selling, so I stopped. I make 17 different toys. I'm operating on the theory that small is beautiful. The shop is just the two-car garage beneath our house. We live upstairs. Really cuts down the overhead. A number of people have tried to seduce me from time to time into selling Sunflower Workshop to them and producing these toys and paying me a substantial what I guess you would call consultation fee for training people to make them and for being around to control quality, stuff like that. And the central thread running through all their arguments was, you cannot stay in business if you don't grow. I want these toys to make people happy, to make children happy. The toy thing started off as a communal effort. The commune was, we got the commune together for the purpose of providing a satisfying environment in which the participants could live. But also we got together because we thought that there was some important work that needed to be done, and is our outreach into the community. This was in Buffalo. The outreach was to take the form of individual and group therapy, because a lot of us had backgrounds in psychology and sociology. And the service was to be provided free. Well, if you're going to provide that service free, you have to figure out some way to support yourself. So we were looking for a relatively clean, unalienating way to make a living. And as it turned out, after we got into it, the people really weren't as interested in working on the toys as they thought they were. But I was still interested in it. So I just kept on doing this as my own project. It took us about 2 years before we were absolutely sure that there was enough of a market for the toys to sustain us. We not only discovered that there was a sufficient market for the toys, we discovered that there was more of a market than we even wanted. And
Did Bradley start making toys after you set up the shop in Buffalo?
yeah. He's really come quite a ways with this toy building. It's interesting how that develops, because he started off by, he'd just go to the scrap box that we had, and he'd pull out just whatever was there and start gluing it together. And all of his first work was very abstract. And then he started to want to make different things, specific kinds of things. And then after he was doing that for a while, the pieces as he found them in the scrap box weren't sufficient anymore, and he had to have them cut to specific shapes and things like that.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
So we got him a saw, and he started cutting parts himself.
What do we actually have here? What kind of is it a truck?
Yeah, it's a big truck.
And what kind of truck is it?
It's the same kind, except you don't put great big logs in it. You put straight wood like this truck, another kind of trucks, other kind of pieces of wood.
Okay, can you turn it around so we can see all the sides? Oh, that's nice. What are the round wheel-like things on top?
On top?
Yeah, these things here.
Well, you see, I'm giving it to my friend, and to them it's going to be a cow's truck. So I'm going to, a cow truck, they have great big 10 cows in it, so that it can't get through to the driver's seat. Because I didn't put it back in there yet. I won't.
That's pretty interesting.
And one thing is about this truck, it's pretty heavy.
Yep. Well,
And the other one's pretty light.
yeah, let's take a look at the other one. Come on over here.
Now this one's a pickup truck, which I'm giving to my cousin. And you can see that it has a different kind of roof than the other one, because only parts uncovered and parts covered. And the part that's covered is for the driver.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that the shapes in that are real nice, the way they all come together. That almost looks like a little piece of wood sculpture, you know?
And it does.
Und wie soll noch was heißen, so zu tanzen? Di ra 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 ri ra 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 ra. Di ra 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 ri ra 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 ra. That's right. You keep going. You sing with Bubby. Da 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 dee, da da da. Ah, da 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 dee, da da da.
Do you think that Mike has a good thing here?
Oh, he sure does. He sure does. He lives in a wonderful place, and he loves it. And he loves being in the country, and it's a wonderful place to raise the children. And he's very happy here. And this is his. He's found at last his way of life. He's making a wonderful way of life, and he enjoys it here. And I guess one can't ask for anything more. And especially with this little baby. Und wie soll ich was heißen, sich zu tanzen? Di da la la di da la 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 la. Di da la la di da la la la. That's right. You keep going. You sing with Bubby. Da da la 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 di da la la. Ah, da la 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 di da da da.